Alright, well, right now I'm at my parents' farm in South Hill, Virginia. It's near the border of Virginia and North Carolina, and it's probably, I can't even remember how many acres it is, maybe 18. And over the years I have come here and stayed for a while and attempted living here, and maybe I'll live here again at some point. But I have this herb garden that I have put things in over the years that I tend when I'm here. My dad's a plant person, so he helps me tend stuff. At one point I planted this Elecampane, and the other day I had some friends, Kim, who's videoing me right now, and my friend Michaela helped me clean up this herb garden. Well, you maybe just do a little, it's definitely, you know, I cut back some mints and things like that too, but so it looks a little apocalyptic right now. But one of the things I knew was here was a few patches of Elecampane, and I've actually never dug up any of the root, and I planted it about 3 years ago. It's actually starting to drizzle a little bit right now, but we're gonna keep going. If it starts to pour, then it's not really a great time to dig things because the soil won't like that very much. So I wanted to dig a little bit of this. Yeah, it's been 3 years or so. I mean, Elecampane is a plant in the Asteraceae family, and its root is the medicinal part, and it's something that's used in formulas for lungs, and it has, oh, it's starting to rain. Okay, I think it's all right. It also has inulin in it, like burdock, so it's really great for gut health as well. So I'm gonna just start digging this and see what it looks like under there, and we're gonna go inside out of the rain and make some tincture, and maybe a honey infusion or something too. So I'm not sure how far the tendrils roots go out. Like, I have a, what do you call it? It's a digging fork that you step on. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it right now. That would probably be better for this, because in case the shovel might break a root if it comes out, but we'll see. I'm okay with some of them breaking off at this point, but I'm just gonna start digging. And yeah, see, there you go, I broke one, but the soil is actually pretty loose. You just start to see here, there's tendrils coming out, tubers. I have definitely mulched and tended to these beds over the years. And then this past 2 years it definitely got neglected a bit because my dad is really busy and he doesn't really know what everything is in here. So I'm here right now, and I thought it'd be a good time to make some Elecampane medicine. That's one of my favorites. So ideally you would also have maybe a hori or trowel right now to kind of get more nuance about this. But so right here, yep, I pulled out a little tendril. It smells amazing. So I'm only going to take part of this, and maybe I'll replant some of it because I want it to spread, and I think this would actually help this plant spread a little bit. I'm going to just take a chunk, and you could dig the whole thing up, take some chunks off, and then replant it down, but right now I'm just going to take this chunk off, see what it looks like. You can hear the cows in the background next door. So this is not Elecampane, actually. This one, no, it is. It looked like yellow dock. I was like, wait a minute. It is. Yeah. So what we'll do is go in and brush the roots clean. I'm only going to make a little bit of medicine. I'll dig a little bit more. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll take this chunk. Wow, look at that. Yeah, it's been quite a few years since, I mean, yeah, I planted this and just never dug any medicine. Because the best time to harvest this is in the early spring or fall. At this point, this has already gone to flower and died back this year, and it has a yellow flower, and it gets pretty tall. Like, it, this garden especially everything gets super tall. Like, Monarda is like over my head, the Elecampane is like up here, this motherwort that's behind Kim is right now. We cut it back some, but it will get huge. So, funny enough, that fig that's planted over there won't fruit because it's just gets frosted out here. Just enough because it's not near anything to protect it. So this is pretty good. I mean, it's a little woody. Like, it's ideal to not really tincture the woody stuff as much. But I'll kind of wash it and see what it really looks like under the dirt. I would say, yeah, so harvesting in the spring and fall. That's the case for most medicines that you're using the root from. So, I mean, if you really think about the way the seasons work in ourselves and in the world, it's like the summer is sort of the time when there's the most sun and the most heat, and everything is sort of reaching for that energy to pull it in. And then in the spring, the energy of the winter, which is dormant time, is sort of starting to emerge, and it's moving through the plants. And so the roots are still full of energy. They're not quite drained of that energy. In the summer, all of that energy is sort of embodied in the aerial part of the plant, and then in the fall, that same plant has sort of been like being like, okay, now it's time to prepare for that dormant time so that we survive. And so that's stored in the roots, and over many cycles, you know, roots will transform, and so the tendrils from this year, these tubers are going to be a lot more succulent, and with certain plants they're more medicinal than the woody part, for sure. So now, yeah, there's a big old knotty rootstock under here. What I could do is divide this a little bit. I could take this chunk off right here, leaving this bit of leaf that's attached, and we kind of cut it back a little bit the other day, but I would leave a little bit of the leaf. And I could replant this one like right here, and actually maybe I'll do that right now. That way it kind of breaks them up, and we'll see. It could not survive, but I think with how much root is there, it probably will. So we dug out a lot of spearmint that was in here the other day, and wow, look at that. And I would love to not have quite as much mint and have a little more stuff like this. So I had a lot more stuff in here at one point, but just it got overgrown. Some stuff will be alright with a little bit of neglect, but unfortunately some of these things aren't. But mints certainly, here's some spearmint. Mints will just go ahead and take over everything. So they have thrived. So I'm just sticking this hole extra big and loose. There's definitely some of that red clay down in there, but it's not too bad. This is the Piedmont region of the South. So when you think about the kind of ecological zones right around where I am, the coastal plain is the area where it's getting really flooded a lot in the hurricanes that have been happening. It's a low-lying region that's the soil's really rich, so cotton's grown there and cash crops, and it's definitely a little more mild climate, meaning I guess the winters are more mild, the summers are pretty hot. So you can grow stuff there that's pretty, like you'll see big rosemary there, and it's hotter. The Piedmont then is the next region just uphill from the coastal plain. That's where we are now. It won't flood here in the same way. It's pretty sedimenty here, just like the coastal plain, but not quite as much. And a lot of that sediment has come from the Appalachian Mountains, which is the next range, the Appalachian region. And they're maybe one of the oldest mountain chains on Earth. And a lot of that sediment over the many years that mountain chain has been eroding has flowed towards the ocean through this region. And so there's a lot of the soil just reflects that. Like you go in the creeks and one big rainstorm is just like mud. It's very muddy here compared to the mountains where it's very rocky and things are more together in stone, and here it's a little more like clay. So with that, the soil is just different, and you have to be really careful about not doing things to the soil that will make it erode. Like a slight hill will not, and then a big rainstorm, you tilled a hill, a rainstorm will just wash all that soil away. So it's good to keep things covered. Like even here where we cleared, we left a lot of roots in, even though we need to get a lot of the grass roots out. So anyways, I'm gonna replant this Elecampane here. I tend to do this if I'm harvesting in the wild, like a root type plant. This is a really important thing to do, and of course if I had seed right now from the flowers, I would be sprinkling it in the wild. But of course here I'm trying to control what's going to be here to an extent, although I'm happy for it to kind of take its own life, a life of its own. So I'm going to put this one back in the ground, and I'm going to tincture that, and I'm going to stick it right here. This greenery up. Often when you take things out to transplant, you would like cut the leaves so that it doesn't shock it as much, but because it's fall, the leaves are already gone, I'm just gonna leave it. And you know, I could put fertilizer in here like fish meal or something, but I'm just gonna do this. And we'll see what happens next time I come over here. Yeah, maybe in the spring, maybe this will take off. So, tucking it in, and what I'll do now too is cover this back up. I'm going to pull this grass out, any roots I can. See that Elecampane I'm going to take with me, it's not going to live. This is an Elecampane root I'm going to take with me, it's not going to live. And so here's one that's separated. Should I plant it back or take it? Maybe I'll plant it back right here. It's a smaller one, so I'll have to dig as big of a hole. I'm gonna plant this one back. And if you don't divide things like this every now and then, they will eventually kind of slow down their growth. So this will help that grow more, and it'll also, yeah, it'll just be refreshed. Same with some of these other things I have out here. Like I have Echinacea and black-eyed Susans. I've divided my Echinacea quite a few times. You can't really see them right now because everything was kind of done flowering, and like it's mid-October, so it has been quite warm out, and but things have kind of been done for a while. So wow. I'm looking at this right now, and I'm noticing there's a big old root right here going into the soil, and I feel like I should dig that out because it's not going to live. So that's grass. I think this is still attached to something, so I'm going to dig that out. And see, that's the benefit of using I can't think of the name of it. It's like not a pitchfork, but I used to use them. I've used them for hundreds of hours, and I can't think of the name of it, but it doesn't cut the roots as easily. So right now I'm just trying to gently lift these tubers up and not break them. And you obviously want to make sure, see, I kind of maybe broke them, but make sure it's not anything else. And there's nothing else right here planted. There's a blueberry bush, but it's way over there. The dog is throwing up over there. Alright. This is pretty woody, but it definitely smells like Elecampane. It's hard to describe what the smell is. It's like resin, floral, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It just like smells like it's supposed to be in your lungs. Or like that it's supposed to be for your lungs. Like, just has the most amazing smell. Alright, so, wow, look at that. Crazy. I'm gonna leave that. Maybe it'll move over there. It maybe is, maybe we cut it down yesterday. I'm gonna pull some of this grass out. Of course, every little grass root that's left is gonna be a new little thing of grass. See, there's people that keep hay all around here and they plant grass seed every year. And with neglect, you're gonna get that. So mulching this really heavily would probably help with that. Or putting leaves down. Well, composted leaves. So now I'm covering this up. That root that's sticking out right there, I'm gonna take some of this soil and cover it up a little bit more. Ideally you don't step in your beds, but we are right now. So compact the soil. We had to yesterday to get all these roots out. So I'm gonna, while I'm over here, I'm gonna go ahead and just put some more soil on the side too. Alright. This is rue. Sad looking rue plant. Alright, Elecampane, thank you. It's always nice to say thanks to your plants. Alright. Well, so that is our little Elecampane harvest. We're going to go inside and make medicine with it. We're going to wash these roots, cut the greenery off. Probably have to scrub them a lot. And we'll probably just chop them up and tincture them. I've been making a lot of oxymels lately, which is the vinegar and honey combo. But this is a great honey as well. It's like my favorite honey infusion. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll make a honey too. We'll see how much we end up having. All right. Thank you.